So, tonight is a special night. You want to know why that is?
Why is that?
Because this is my first ever podcast. I don't really have an intro. So, welcome to Rox's Starcast. I'm your host, Rox, and with me I have a guest star by the name of Homecoming Gamer. You wanna introduce yourself?
Homecoming hero.
I am so sorry.
I quit. I'll be in my trailer.
Wait, no, come back.
But hello, everyone. I am Homecoming hero. Happy to be here with my good friend Rox.
Yes, you are. Tonight we're gonna talk about the Sonic movie. Not just the sequel, but we're also gonna talk about the first one too, since I never actually got to do that because I didn't have a podcast back then. So here we go, talking about both. What's your take on the first movie?
Before we dive deeper, non-spoilerish take. First movie is a surprise. It is a really good surprise because it could have easily been a Smurfs and Alvin the Chipmunks, movie of that caliber, and it's not. Does it have moments for the family-going crowd? Yes, it does. Sonic flosses twice.
We don't talk about that.
We have to. You gotta acknowledge the past, or it'll be doomed to repeat itself in the future.
It's gonna repeat itself anyway. I mean, have you not seen the second movie?
But yeah, the one thing they didn't need to carry over. But yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I agree. The first movie's a fun time. I feel like you could replace Sonic with literally any fictional character in that first movie, but all in all, it's still a good time. I'm happy that they actually listened to fan outrage and changed the design, because that first design is a nightmare, right?
I still wish we would have got a cut of that design, because the movie was nearing its release date when they delayed it. So there's got to be a cut somewhere out there with that design.
I'm sure there is somewhere. I remember, forgot who it was, but they showed me that there is a statue of that design that they used for when filming the movie. And for whatever reason, they modeled feet onto this thing, and I don't know why. Like, when I say they modeled feet onto it, I mean like bare feet. Yeah, it's wild. I'm not posting an image of it, but you can look at you can find it if you look it up on Google. Just do it with safe search on. But moving on to the second Sonic movie. This one, I said that the first movie, you could have had any character in it, and it would have essentially had the same effect. The second movie is a Sonic movie through and through. I feel like you cannot replace Sonic or any of the characters in that movie. That is 100% a Sonic movie first and foremost. What is your take on that movie?
Sonic 2?
Yes.
Sonic 2 is better than Sonic 1 for a myriad of reasons that we will be getting into, but definitely Sonic 2 was... I had high expectations going into it because Sonic 1 was that much of a surprise. And with the cliffhanger at the end of Sonic 1, it really was a delight to prepare for. And the trailers that we saw beforehand were also great, so that when that happened, when Sonic 2 happened, I was walking into it wondering, oh, how's it gonna go? And blew all my expectations out of the water. It's fantastic, even better than the first one.
I agree. Do you want to go ahead and get into spoiler territory now, or
Sure.
because I have some things I want to say. First off, Tails. Oh my God, Tails is a good boy in that movie. I mean, I'm already a massive Tails fan, but they did my boy right in that movie. They did him so good. What are your takes?
My takes is that Colleen O'Shaughnessy knocked it out of the park with Tails, and she did a fantastic job. It felt like Tails walked right out of the games onto the screen, but my standout is rougher than the rest of them, the best of them, tougher than leather, and that would be Idris Elba as Knuckles. A lot of people were wary because, you hear that celebrity voice cast in movies, and you think
no, Idris Elba. I feel like that was the perfect casting for Knuckles.
Indeed. He has my favorite line in the whole movie. This is your spoiler warning now. We're warning you. If you haven't seen them, go watch both of these movies. You need to watch both of them. They are very much connected.
Yeah, they are. Just final thoughts before we head full on into spoiler. The Sonic movies, both the first one and its sequel, are hands down, in my personal opinion, are hands down the best video game movies ever made. These movies prove that you can make a good movie based on a video game.
I agree. I 100% agree.
With that said, we are getting into spoilers now. Homecoming. Would you like to lead us into spoilers?
Yes. The best scene in the entire movie out of both of them is the fact that Knuckles doesn't know how to read a text message. And I lost it in the movie theater. They got Sonic's phone number, they hacked it to make it him and Robotnik and Agent Stone hacked the phone to make it seem that it was, James Marston Tom texting Sonic, and as Sonic is replying, Knuckles is sitting in the back going ... My favorite scene actually is in that same ballpark, one of, I should say, which is where Tails goes, "Do you mean it?" And Sonic's like, "What?" And he's like, "That I'm your friend." And Sonic's like, "Of course." And Tails gets super excited because Tails didn't have any friends. And I feel like this movie really embodied Sonic and Tails' friendship perfectly.
It did. It took what was already known about Tails' backstory, that he was bullied a lot growing up, he didn't really have any friends, and they translated it into this movie so well. So well. It's such a perfect translation into this movie.
I agree. And it has, a very good message with a really good undertone about, like, it's okay to be different. It's, like, be yourself, because Sonic doesn't ever tell Tails to change. He encourages Tails to, like, embrace his strengths in the movie and immediately becomes friends. And Tails is a good friend because Tails is willing to run over Knuckles with a cop car that he stole for Sonic.
That was both the most hilarious and dumbest thing I've ever seen in this entire franchise.
I can't wait for...
Just Tails running over Knuckles with the cop car, and then Jim Carrey's Eggman jumping on top of the car and acting like a wild feral dog and just licking the windshield is just, what am I looking at?
I can't wait for this movie to hit digital platforms because I want a GIF of Tails hitting Knuckles with the car, so that can be my I arrived GIF anytime I show up to my friends or with a group chat. Just roll up like Tails hitting Knuckles with the cop car. And Knuckles was so mad that he took it out on the one Sonic 4 reference that was in this movie.
Good. Sonic 4 sucks.
Yeah, and that's one thing that is different between the sequel and the first one. In the first one, for those who have seen it, there were a couple references. There was Mania music, there was Sonic, there were some fun things in the first one. There were a couple fun references. That piano piece of Green Hill Zone. They had like a bowl of references, and they were like, okay, we're gonna put in a couple, and then they spilled all of the references into the second one. They did not hold back.
I mean, the first movie starts with, you said it yourself, Sonic Mania music, specifically the song Friends, which is a fantastic song. I love that song so much.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with that playing while Sonic is running through Green Hill Zone. It is such a perfect opener for a Sonic movie. And then, like you said, Sonic 2 leans even heavier into the references when they're in the... Just a few I can name off the top of my head. When they're, like, the bar scene, when they're dancing, and one of the poses that Sonic does is his box art pose from Sonic Adventure 1. Or how the temple where the Master Emerald is. Not only is that a reference to the Lost Temple from Sonic Adventure 1, it's also a reference to Labyrinth Zone, of all things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. And I will piggyback off of that, where they went full circle with the reference to Labyrinth Zone, to the fact that Sonic gets underwater in Labyrinth Zone and he can't swim, so he's just walking on the floor of the ocean. He can kind of jump up, and also the fact that he eats an air bubble.
Yeah. By the way, him jumping up like that might have been a reference to the very first episode of Sonic X, when Sonic fell into the pool and couldn't get out. He did a similar motion to try to get out.
Well, there's another Sonic X potential reference that people have been bringing up, and that's when Knuckles is punching at Sonic rapidly, and Sonic is like back dodging rapidly because the animation looks so similar to an episode of Sonic X where Sonic and Knuckles are fighting. And also, Sonic not only masters the spinball in the second movie, he straight up uses the homing attack in one scene.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that scene, I'm glad they referenced more of the classic enemies, because if you pay attention to some of Robotnik's robot designs, you have buzz bombers.
Mm-hmm.
And the final battle of the movie is straight up the Death Egg robot from Sonic 2.
Yep. Complete with the Sega Genesis manual.
I love that. I love this movie so much.
I do too. I can't wait to buy this. I'm buying it day one.
Oh, absolutely. Same here. As a Sonic fan, it hit all of the right buttons for me.
Mm-hmm.
All of the right buttons. And the teaser... Wait, no. Before we get into that, let's talk a bit more about that final battle with Eggman. With Sonic being confirmed to be Eggman's testicle.
Oh no, not the groin line. Not the groin line. Oh my gosh, we gotta hit him in the groin. Knuckles, stop saying groin. Wait a minute. I'm Eggman's groin. But Rox, I need your thoughts on something.
What?
Everyone here in the audience has probably heard a review or two on this movie already, has heard thoughts from friends. There is a Cell versus, I wouldn't say none. This isn't like a situation where it makes the movie either good or bad, but it's definitely knocked it down a few points for people's scales. It's time to talk about The Wedding. Guns, fantastic. My big fat gun wedding.
Everyone. I mean, first off, the entire wedding scene, all of the scenes featuring the humans. I know a lot of people don't like that. Personally, I didn't mind it. It was fine. It was a great. It was a break from the action. But just when they revealed that everyone there, the wedding guests, the caterers, Randall, the guy who was getting ready to marry Rachel,
the priest,
as well as the priest. All of them were gun agents in disguise. What is happening? What?
That's right. Gun is now in the universe. Olive Garden guy is actually Gun Commander.
I'm calling it now. I've said this multiple times in various friend groups. I will say it here. Sonic Movie 3 is gonna reveal that Gun's HQ is inside of an Olive Garden.
You say that, I don't know how far they're gonna go. My guess, I want to see the base inside the Olive Garden. My guess is that he's going to have like a watch that he talks into, like a high-tech watch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his big code word is going to be Operation Soup and Salad and Bread. That's gonna be my prediction. I could be wrong. I don't have any idea about Sonic 3. We're probably not going to get a trailer for at least a couple. Well, wait. So Sonic 1 was 2019 or early 2020. Would have been 2019, but 2020. So do you think this is going to be in every 2 years? Do you think they're already working on Sonic Movie 3 as we're speaking?
I've seen articles that states that they are currently working on the third movie as we speak. I don't know how accurate those articles are, but allegedly they are. The third movie is currently in production.
Good. I want more. I want more. Sign me up for Sonic 3. It's fun. And as for my take on the humans, it's dumb, but it's dumb fun.
Exactly. That's the best way to describe it. Dumb fun.
I've seen worse. I've seen because I have younger family members. I've seen those Alvin and the Chipmunks movies, and I've seen like Smurf movies. You know what they didn't do with the humans that I'm glad that they didn't?
They didn't make the humans the main characters.
Well, not just that, but they didn't force a plot with the humans. Like, for example, in the Smurfs, with Neil Patrick Harris, they keep having an allegory that the Smurfs are these little people and maybe he should be ready to become a dad.
Yeah.
And they never did that in Sonic 2. They were just there. They were there to advance the plot. They were there to introduce Gun. Some reviewers have pointed this out, and it is a valid point. I don't know why Gun was at this wedding thinking that Sonic would show up, let alone have two cages at this wedding.
I feel like there might have been a scene that was cut due to time or something that might have explained it better. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's the case, but I feel like there's something in between that's missing that probably should have been there to explain why they're there, how they even knew Sonic was going to show up in the first place. There's something missing there that just... I feel like it should have been there to explain it.
I agree, but that being said, they aren't the only humans. What's your take on Agent Stone?
Oh, Agent Stone? I love him. I love that he is clearly in love with Eggman, and Eggman is just like, yep, you are my henchman.
And that's actually something I'd like to voice before we also get to the final act. That's something that I only have one complaint between Sonic 1 and Sonic 2.
Okay.
I like Eggman more in Sonic 1. I feel like in Sonic 2 he is kind of hamming it up a few too many times, and this is only a minor point. Like, if you were to tell me to give this like a ranking, I would say Sonic 1 is a 7.5 to 8 out of 10. I would say Sonic 2 is an 8.5 to a 9 out of 10. They are really good movies. I've seen worse, and these are so much better. Great movies. That being said, I didn't like the amount of pop culture references in this. Like Eggman going, "You're more useless to me than backstage passes to a Limp Bizkit concert." And it's like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. Also, I know we brought it up earlier. I could have done without more flossing. we got the flossing thing from Sonic in the first movie. They did it again in the second movie, but this time it was with Robotnik. I could have gone without that.
Oh my gosh, that caught me off guard. I thought Sonic was going to teach Tails how to floss after winning like a battle of sorts, or maybe Tails and Knuckles.
I am so glad he didn't.
Oh no, that's going to be the next movie. Knuckles is going to be like, is this the correct way to do the victory dance? And then Knuckles starts flossing.
Before we get into what we want to see in the third movie, before we get into that, how about we talk about the post-credits scene? Now, personally, I'm not a big fan of this character, but it was still hype to see that. Despite not being a fan of this character, it was still really hype to see them there. Shadow.
Adventure 2 is one of my favorites. I almost screamed.
Oh yeah. Half of the theater that I was in, half of them were leaving while the credits were rolling because I guess they just didn't see the first movie. They didn't expect to see anything post credits. I guess once the credits start rolling, they were just like, "Well, that's it, we're done." But those who stuck around lost their minds when they saw Shadow.
I was one of them. I was already having an inkling because when they're like, "Oh, the Guardian Unit Nations," or whatever gun stands for, I was like, okay, it's going to be Shadow. I had an inkling in the back of my mind the minute that gun was introduced. And even, kudos to the movie staff, the people who design things. They even used the gun logo from the games.
Oh, yeah. Also, on one of the helicopters, I didn't notice this myself, but I've seen multiple people point it out. One of the helicopters that arrived at the that was in the movie had the initials SA2 on it.
Oh my gosh. But something else happened in this movie that was hype.
Supersonic.
Yes. Yeah, like he looked good.
He did. That was perfect. And then my favorite thing was the Sonic 06 reference when he just lightly taps the Death Egg robot. It just falls over. And Robotnik is just like, "Oh, so that's how it is."
Oh my gosh.
That I died laughing at, but then the other part I died laughing at was Knuckles was just like, "Don't get too close. He's no longer the Sonic you once knew." And this Sonic holds up his hand, summoning something from the heavens above. And it's a chili dog. Knuckles is just like, never mind. He's exactly the same Sonic you knew.
That was a good playoff. I'm glad that they didn't fake out or anything or play overly dramatic music. They knew what they were doing.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, Knuckles is my favorite part of this movie. He is very endearing. He's not Boom Knuckles. He is definitely his own Knuckles. One of my favorite bits is the fact that there is a little holographic Sonic and he punches it, breaking part of Eggman's holographic table, and goes, "I defeated the tiny magic Sonic. What would you like me to do next?"
Okay, before we wrap up, let's talk a little bit about what we would love to see from the third movie. What would you? I'll start with you. What would you love to see from the third movie?
I want Gun to not trust Sonic and to, kind of use Shadow against Sonic, or maybe Shadow goes rogue. I don't know. I want to see that helicopter come back, and I want Sonic to rip part of it off, the SA-2 helicopter, and do the skateboarding from City Escape. That is I would literally probably stand up. I'd make sure I'm sitting in the back so I don't stand in front of everybody. I'll sit in the last row. I will stand up and give a standing ovation if they do that. That's what I want to see. And a lot of people have mentioned this. I want to see a Crush 40 song in the next Sonic movie, whether it's an older one or a new original.
Yeah. For me, I would love to see various characters appear in the third movie. I know some people are throwing around the idea of Amy appearing in the movie. And while I'd be okay with seeing that, I'd love seeing that actually. I feel like that would be kind of hype. But a character I feel would make more sense because Shadow is there. I feel like it would make more sense for Rouge to show up.
I would be hyped to see Rouge. I would be pretty hyped to see Rouge. I just need a scene of Rouge and Tails racing to see the president.
Oh boy. And using their Rouge having a very phallic looking car.
And you know who the president's played by?
Who?
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
I'd actually be kind of okay with that.
I have to see the president, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Like the saxophone music kicks in the background. Because that race to see the president music is hype.
Oh yeah. Do you think they're gonna go full on SA2 with this, in the sense of we're gonna have the whole Maria thing and her being killed off by Gun? Do you think we're gonna see that?
This is where they could hit a little bit of a plot hole, because Gun in the new movie mentioned that they formed because of Sonic and Robotnik.
Right.
So they can't necessarily have Gun kill Maria unless they were a secret organization all along, so that could maybe draw some criticism. As for if I think they're going to do it, I'm really 50-50 on it. I could see them doing it in a way that's mentioned in a flashback. And the thing with this is that they haven't done like a revenge plot yet. Like Knuckles only wanted to get to Sonic because he wanted to find the Master Emerald.
Right.
So he didn't want like revenge. He didn't blame Sonic for like losing his dad and everybody. So they could do the revenge plot and it would be new. That being said, everyone's going to demand one specific line from Shadow.
Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
I wish, but all of the fans, if they're like, they want Shadow at night to stand on top of a bridge and say, "Maria, I promise you, revenge."
Oh boy.
the edginess. People are gonna want full on edgy Shadow. They are gonna want edgy the hedgy. All hail Shadow.
I hate it, but I know that's where they're gonna go with it because that's what people want. Oh boy.
Would you be okay with, and I want to hear what you want in the third movie, so to pass the baton over to you, bud, would you be cool with the fake hedgehog of all places, Faker, you're comparing, would you be okay with that speech making it into the movie, the back and forth between the two of them, as a reference?
Maybe, but the speech I want to hear between the two of them the most is the one during their final fight. Just because then Sonic could say, you know, I die hard, and that can actually be a reference to the movie Die Hard.
That would be interesting. I know a lot of people want, Faker, you're comparing yourself to me? Ha! You're not even good enough to be my...
I'll make you eat those words.
Yes, he has to cut him off.
In all honesty, I feel like they may do both. I can see them doing both.
You know what they'll do? I'm calling it right now.
What?
They're gonna do the moon thing. They're gonna have them running towards each other and cross in front of the moon.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they have this is going to be Shadow's debut movie. They're absolutely going to do that. They referenced it in Sonic Generations. They're going to do it again here. Absolutely.
But what do you want to see?
I would love to see... Okay, so I saw someone throw this around. It was it's a YouTuber I watch that threw this idea around. I would love it if they incorporated Metal Sonic into it, and it could be kind of a mix between... the plot can be somewhat of a mix between SA2 and Heroes, ending with a final battle where it's Shadow and Sonic teaming up. They go into their super forms in order to battle Metal Overlord from Sonic Heroes. And I feel like that could work, but I feel like the plot would be more SA2 than Heroes. It'd be more SA2 than Heroes, but they would still get the whole... They can do this in order to kind of sort of bring Eggman back, but have it be a fake because it's actually Metal Sonic in disguise, similar to Heroes. That's what I mean by they could combine both plots together.
Yeah, that would be interesting. And then also for Super Forms, that would be a very deep reference to have Knuckles and Tails with like the shields around them.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
And
my gosh.
The final fight can still take place in space, just like SA2. But instead of them fighting the Bio Lizard, it's them fighting Metal Overlord from Sonic Heroes.
That's a good one. I would be okay with that. Is Shadow still gonna fall from space and say, Maria, I've kept my promise?
I can see that happening, yes. But then the post-credit scenes would reveal that Shadow somehow survived. It may go more into detail as to how Shadow survived, and then we get another reveal, but this time it's similar to the reveal of the first movie, but this time it's Blaze.
You say Blaze? I was actually going to say Silver. I was going to say...
Technically, they could do both, because there's two separate continuities that are also kind of part of the same continuity. It's weird. Sonic lore is weird, but they could technically have it where Blaze and Silver show up, and they could either have it where they're both from a different dimension, or they could have it where it's Sonic 06 and they're actually from the future. Either way, it would still be in line with the games.
And if we got that in Sonic 4 and we just keep going crazier and crazier, then I need one specific line from a specific villain. The answer is yes and no.
I don't want them to adapt Sonic 06 though, because that means Sonic would die.
That's how the Sonic movies end. Sonic dies. Except in this timeline he doesn't come back.
Anyway, I think we should wrap it up there. Thanks for tuning in to my first podcast, everyone. Homecoming. Tell the nice people at home where they can find you.
You can find me on twitter.com at homecominggamer, because I don't know how to change my Twitter tag. Someday I'll learn how to do that. With one G, so homecoming and then AMER. That is my Twitter tag, and you can find me there where I post about my other creative pursuits. I blog, I have a mini series podcast, and so on and so forth, and I have projects where I team up with the amazing host of this podcast right here.
Hello.
So if you want memes and so on, you can find me there. But no matter what, thank you for having me, Rox. It was a great time.
It was a pleasure. I definitely have to bring you on again at some point.
Cool.
Anyway, thanks for watching or listening or having us on in the background. Until next time, ciao.